I'm going to try to make this one quick. Just a couple of thoughts, couple of notes. I've got a show coming up, live show in a few minutes. But it's this. I've been reading all weekend long in mainstream media that the FBI is looking into this story about Joe Biden and Hunter Biden's laptop, and that this may be Russian disinformation. Now, it seems to me that's a convenient excuse so mainstream media doesn't have to confront the actual allegations. And many people have already confirmed to certain conservative news outlets that indeed many of these emails are actually true. But does this mean that the Russians would be wrong even if they were involved? Let's say the Russians, it had fallen into the Russians' laps and they knew what it was. Just because they may get behind it to try to play games with our election doesn't mean it's not true. I was reading over the weekend Jonathan Turley, the liberal law professor from American University, I believe, in Washington, and he was saying it's interesting that nobody in the Biden camp has come right out and denied any of this. And the Biden camp isn't even issuing a cease and desist. Nothing like that's going on, which should raise a few questions, even though Joe is claiming it's a smear. Nobody's actually tried to come right out and refute everything that's been said in these emails. And then I was reading, I think Quinn Hillier, who's a never Trumper conservative who writes at the Washington Examiner, and Hillier said almost exactly the same thing and points out, as does his colleague Byron York at the Washington Examiner, that nobody, when they say, well, we don't have any official listing of Biden meeting with these Ukrainians or with these Chinese, but an official listing doesn't necessarily have to take place. In other words, they're parsing their words here, and mainstream media is doing its dadgum best to try to ignore all of this and bury it as quickly as it can before we get to Election Day. Because otherwise, what Joe Biden has done is highly criminal and could be bordering on the treasonous. All the things that the liberals and media accused Donald Trump over the last few years. I'll leave you with this quick thought. Media says, well, we have to verify this first. Really? Did they verify the Covington Catholic boys? Or any number of stories like that? Did they verify the Steele dossier? You realize what's going on here. And again, I think the word coup gets overused, but what we're seeing is a coup. It's media in league with the deep state, whatever you want to call it, the bureaucracy. And then we get a story out that says, well, John Kelly apparently told somebody that Donald Trump is fast and loose with the truth and can't be trusted and is an awful human being. But John Kelly hasn't popped up anywhere and said true or false. Just saying. It just, the pile on continues. And about the only person who's going to stop this is God. Pray a lot before Election Day. If you like our videos, please click the subscribe button at the top of the page. You can also go down to the comments section and leave any remarks you have there.